concern. You also have to do justice to that of the time. The time allocated for each participant is 7 minutes 15 seconds. Each participant has 7 minutes 15 seconds. Like my co-adjudicator already alluded earlier, the first minute that the timekeeper, Abdullah, is going to clap once to signify to everybody that the protected time has been already materialized. That is, the first clap means to start. The second clap means your protected time is actually open. Everyone can ask a question. The reason the protected time is actually there is because at that particular period of time, you barely started your debate. So there, nobody can ask you a question at that particular time. But when the moment you hear that clap, or your police will ask the POI, and you are accepting or rejecting the POI. So that is the first two claps. The final clap would indicate to everybody that is the participant that your protected time is on again, that nobody can ask a question, and it comes at the 6th minute of your submission. It comes at the 6th minute of your submission, and at the 5th minute, the timekeeper is going to clap for the at the 5th minute so that he informs you that you have a protected time again for all of your debate. And you can summarize and then conclude. With that, we will and every debate and then you block and the audience. The reason we are doing this is because all of these participants probably come at the moment. The moment they ask to the podium, it would be like some sort of a podium that has been placed on them. So we want to really teach them that particular atmosphere for them to be able to watch. Same for this particular person, it is a very interesting person, and that we will be able to learn a lot of things from there. So please, let's give them that flow for them to actually navigate around this topic and give us the debate that we all desire to have. And with that, we look forward to a very competitive debate and wish each and every person a very good luck and a very wonderful debate. Thank you very much.
Who's the Prime Minister? Okay, Prime Minister, if you are second, the house is all yours, please.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters of the University of Education. I am saying a big salute to you all. I am Modulamin Boyan, a student of the University of Education, the Gambia, and I am pursuing an advanced diploma, major in business management and then agricultural science. Today is a great day, and then I am permitted to come here and then serve as the main man of the house, who is here not to oppose but to speak firmly on a motion that has been read earlier here. Before preluding, let me first greet the people who are seated on front here. Greetings to the adjudicators, timekeepers, members of the house, and then the opposition bench. I salute you all. Before going into anything here, it is a mantra that I have to set the parameters or the grounds of this debate. As I am the Prime Minister, it is a necessity that I bring this house into in a way that everybody will know what is actually going on. The house that we are told to debate on is involving school-going children in politics causes more harm than good in our society. I want to read each word, each letter, so that everybody will be in a state of understanding. The comprehension here is that what is involvement? Why are you pushing children that are underage to go into politics and letting them to go into harms? It is disastrous. That is exactly what I'm to tell you here. My points are here, and I believe that people will come here, stand here, and then start giving false dichotomies. But I am not here to argue with them. The first point that I am to elaborate on is academic distractions. Most of the children today, under 18, we allow them to go into politics. And I am seeing people here who are strongly in support of allowing our own children, our own younger brothers and sisters to go into politics. That is a sacrilege, and then it is disastrous to their mental health. People wanted to be educated, and then now we are allowing children to be involved in politics, leading them to disastrous actions, and then we are going to sit and then say, we are clapping for them because of the brouhahas, because of the manipulations, and then whatsoever they are doing, and not focusing on their academic resources. The second point that I am going to elaborate is exposures to unhealthy grounds. Today in politics, people are going in, but we've been encountering lots of challenges. We've been hearing such. According to the TRRC report, people who were involved in politics, that is the volume 6, they were beaten to death, some were harassed. I don't mean just harassed, but they were sexually abused. And then today people are sitting here saying that we should involve younger children in politics. That is a falsehood, and then I am still in denial to that. The third point that I want to emphasize is the negative impacts on national development. How can we make national impacts? There are certain restitutions that we can make instead of involving younger children to go on and partake in politics. We have engineering, we have doctors. Why not we train our own children to become responsible parents who will be going there to serve people in hospitals, who will be architecting, trying to design houses in order for us to live in a conducive setting. Why not you do that? But you are allowing people, or our younger generations, to be in politics of manipulation, decisions that will not result to anything but our business. This is not just all. Today we are seated here. I am the one speaking still. Mr. Speaker, you need to take this as a learning point. I don't know why people are still seated here listening to me, and then they want to still agree that. Thank you very much. Most people who are seated here, or who are sitting here in our midst, they are saying that it is very okay to allow your children to be in politics. Today in National Building, we are hearing people who are involved in going abroad and then study on becoming professionals, who will come back and then still serve this nation. But they are not doing that. Instead, we are the ones saying, yes, we are not going to let them go into politics, but instead, we should try to empower them. Let them not see politics as a way, but instead, let them be enrolled in schools that are ethical, schools that will push them in order to bring in something for the future generations. This is a point, and then I want you to confirm. I know that people will stand to come here and then be explaining to people the falsehood, misleading people that we should not let we should let the children to be in politics, underage people. Why are you doing that? That is so bad. You don't do that. Children who are below the age of 18, you are letting them go into politics of placements. No, we are not doing that. So this is just a simple way of saying that it is very poor for you to let a child to go into politics. So this is about what I have right now. So these are the things that I am saying here. Most people, they are not willing to be seated here and listen to what exactly people are saying. No, it is not that. It is about what you should tell children to go into and then stop building false hood that will discourage other children not to be involved in school academics.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Can we have the opposition leader assistant?
Mr. Speaker, this is the structure of my debate. I will first start by redefining the key terms because it was so unfortunate that the Prime Minister came here and wasn't able to define the key terms. I will also review the baseless points that he made. I will give my points, summarize, and in summary, I will conclude. Mr. Speaker, my first key point is school-going children. According to Wikipedia, they are boys and girls who attend school regularly to receive formal education and develop academically, socially, emotionally, and morally. We also talk about what? Politics. According to Wikipedia, is the activity of governing a country or community and making decisions that affect people's lives through leadership, laws, and public policies. We also talk about harm. According to Wikipedia, is anything that causes injury, damage, suffering, negativity, affects person's health, safety, development, or well-being. We talk about society. According to Wikipedia, is a group of people living together in the same community or country who interact and work together under shared rules, customs, and institutions. So, Mr. Speaker, he also went ahead and talked about what? Exposure to unhealthy ground. In what extent? Because we have the Children National Assembly in our country. Have you heard of the Children National Assembly causing any harm in the Gambia? No. So, politics being our country and politics being able, children being able to be in politics is very important because it has not caused any harm in our country. We have the Children National Assembly. They are working, they are making decisions, and they are also making sure that advocacies are being in our country. They go through schools, they advocate, and you have not heard of any misconception or you have not heard of any miscommunication based on it. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll go to my points. And the first one is what? Political involvement creates informed citizens. Democracy depends on what? Citizens who understand government and public affairs. Waiting until adulthood is often too late to build what? Civic habits. So we know that some adults are here. They don't vote. They don't. Can you stand and talk to me?
Okay. You said from your point right now. You said
can you
involvement in is civic education not enough for children at school to know awareness about politics without them being involved?
So I am also telling you that civic education is part of politics, and because of that, students are being able to learn without any miscommunication. So, can you keep quiet? So, Mr. Speaker, adults are here who do not what? They do not involve in what? Voting. It is because of what? They have not been involved in politics since they were young. Because a child that is not what? Politically aware, when they grow up, you do not expect them to vote. You do not expect them to be part of what? Political, you do not expect them to be part of politics. So it is So it is really important for them as children to what? To be involved in politics. And we are not talking about, sit down. We are not talking about the politics that you know. We are not talking about the politics that you know that there is going to be miscommunication or what. It is the politics that you know that we have the Children National Assembly. It will be their right for them to come and what advocate for what the society and the children. So for children to teach each other, there will not be miscommunications. There will not be brainwashing. There will not be anything that you know that it is going to be what it is going to be bad for the children. So for that, they will grow up being what politically aware. We also talk about what excluding. My second point is what excluding children within what democracy. Young people who never encourage to participate often become what politically disengaged. So, Mr. Speaker, we know adults that we know that they are sitting down at home. They do not anything. They do not do anything apart from what insulting and doing whatever when it comes to politics. But we have children that are sitting down in class because of civic education. That is what the people doing science are doing. Keep quiet. The people doing technical are doing it, the people doing commerce are doing it, and the people doing arts are doing it. So it will be the responsibility of the teacher to teach those students for them to be what? It is the responsibility of the teacher to teach them about politics. And you know that teachers are there not to mislead people, but they are there to guide what? Their students. So in that, certain students or certain children are going to be what? They are going to be politically enhanced. They are going to be very intelligent. They will not allow people to be washed. What the Prime Minister is saying that we are not supposed to allow the people to do politics because of what? The bad things that are happening in politics. But I am also reminding you that we have the Children National Assembly, and there is no way that those people will what? Those people will give disinformation, or they will give misinformation, or teachers what? Giving them misinformation. And for that, we will grow to be what? To be better leaders. We will grow to be empowered. They will grow to be what? Empowered, and they will be. They will also grow to be what? They will grow to make sure that the country goes forward. So, Mr. Speaker, in summary, I have reviewed the baseless, pointless points made by the Prime Minister. I have given my points which were political involvement creates informed citizens. I have also given including children within democracy. I am going to conclude by saying that this country will never and ever go further without children being involved in politics, because children are going to grow to be adults, and adults without politics, the nation is going to what? The nation is going to crumble. So thank you.
Hello, debaters. I just want to make a little clarification on the issue of POI, right? So we know the purpose of POI is to make sure that we get clarification from the person speaking on the podium. The only time you are allowed to ask a POI is after the first clap, that is after 1 minute, because the first 1 minute is protected time. And POI time ends after 6 minutes, because the last 1 minute is also protected time. So you cannot distract the person that is speaking within the first 1 minute and the last 1 minute. Another thing is that if you ask a POI and the person speaking allows you to ask your question, you are given only 15 seconds to ask your question. So instead of giving a whole paragraph, you compress your question and make it short so you can ask your question in 15 seconds. And please make sure you have an interval between your POIs, an interval of at least 30 seconds, so that I cannot just get up and say POI. If I'm asked to sit down, another person get up within 2 seconds or 5 seconds. Let us give at least an interval of 30 seconds within the time that we ask questions, so that we can flow smoothly, right? If the House is set, can we hear from the Deputy Officer of the the Deputy Prime Minister?
Good afternoon, Member of Parliament. Today, the motion that is being laid in front of us says that this House believes that school-going children should not participate in politics. It has more harm than good. I will try to construct my debate. I will accept one POI. I will also restrain my Prime Minister's point and rebook this opposition bench with their meaningless, baseless, disoriented piece of cucumbers of points. Moving on, what my Prime Minister said is right. If you involve children in politics, it will cause them unhealthy environment. We have seen a lot of them. You understand? There are a lot of people who have been harmed. And also, it caused academic distraction. I accept it. But I will rebook these empty skulls. Sit down, let me lecture you. I will rebook her point, which she says that politics, they are a member of parliament. Sit down. Okay, moving on. We says that it brings division among students. In schools are meant for unity. Schools are established to unite students together. If you try to bring politics in those children, it will affect them. It will bring, because we all know we are party loyal. If you go home, our parents will tell us to go and support this party. So as we are supporting that party, the other student is supporting different party. We are going to be distracted. We are going to be divided. We are not going to be in the same condition. We are all going to be separated. So it brings divisions in our schools. It brings hatred among students. And it will teaching and learning will not be effective once there is a hatred among two students in that class. Do you understand? Even it will lead to a point that where students will have a fight. Do you understand? So bringing politics or involving school-going children into politics, it is very, very harmful. Do you understand? Because we believe they are the leaders of tomorrow. Civic education is there to teach them their rights, their responsibility, and create awareness. But we do not want them to participate, put on party t-shirt, go on rallies, and singing political songs. We are not interested in that. Secondly, it exposes them to danger. I would like to take you through the Liberian War. According to the article that I read by UN, children that were killing were school-going children, which Charles Taylor groomed them and promised them that if we remove Samuel Obi, we are going to create environment where you people are going to participate. So children there take guns, go and kill their fellow human beings. Look at it, involving them into politics since that small age. Look at what harm did it have on Liberia. I'm not done. Let's go back to Sierra Leone, for a sec. What did he tell the small kids? When you fight against the people, when we won, we are going to give you position. Those children take guns at the age of 7, 8, 9, taking gun and killing people because they don't know what are they were lured that if you help us win, we are going to give you position. So involving children into this thing is very, very bad. Into politics is bad. Now let us come down to our own context, Gambia here. All of us, we can vividly remember, Gambia green boys. Green boys. They were harassing people. They were beating people if you do not support their party. And all those people that were part of the green boys were school-going children. Do you understand? They were all green boys, they were school-going children. So they were the one beating people in our society. So involving them into politics, it is not hygienic. It is harmful to them. It will affect them mentally. Do you understand? So I will put to you that it is very, very bad to involve them into politics. If you were involved in politics by now, you are corrupt. You are finished. Do you understand? So let me lecture you and teach you, telling you that you should not participate in politics when you are going to school. Civic education, government provides civic education for you to be aware of what is happening in the country, for you to know your rights, for you to know your responsibilities. Do you understand? So it is not you participating in politics and coming, taking party rallies, going for campaigning, insulting people, taking stones, throwing on people, saying that you are participating in politics. That is rubbish. It's not politics. So I'm telling you that politics is meant for mature people. Do you understand? School-going children should focus on their academic, should focus on national development instead of participating in so-called politics. Do you understand? So For that being the case, I will acknowledge you that that is nonsense. Do not try it anymore. Okay. I have concluded. In summary, I will tell you that the government has said that involving students in politics is very, very harmful. My points are, like I said earlier, it brings division. Schools are meant to be united. They are there to unite us. We wear the same uniform, so we should unite. We should not involve politics in our schools. And secondly, it exposes them to unhealthy or it exposes them to danger. Thank you so much. Sorry, before my time starts, I want also to acknowledge someone. Last year she was with us on this podium, and this year it is not with us here. God take her from us, not because she's a bad girl, but it was her time. That is Fatima Sal. Can we all pray for her in our individual ways? May Almighty grant her Jannatul Firdaus. Last year she was with us here, and this year she is not with us here. So let us pray in our individual ways to remember her. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have the deputy officer leader, please?
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Speaker, distinguished guests, panel of judges, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I rise today as the Deputy Opposition Leader to rebut the government agreement and to reinforce the case presented by my leader, and to demonstrate why this House must get this motion. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Speaker, before I unfold my unfolded folder, I would like to hit the nail on the head. But before I come here, I would like to correct my opponent here. That is, it's not rebuke, it's rebut. To the Prime Minister, you said civic education is not part of politics, and the government has bring politics as civic education in our school. Honorable Speaker, the government has mistakenly protected for exclusion, shielding children from politics by denying them participation, does not prepare them for democracy. It prepares them for ignorance.
POI.
My friend, sit down, let me lecture. The real issue is not whether children should be involved, but how they should be involved. Coming to the opponent which says that civic education is not part of politics, while the government is bringing civic education in our school and students are learning those subjects. So obviously, don't bring miscommunication to this House. What you are saying are brouhaha words. A society that teaches young people to think, a society that makes young people to question people, a society that allows students to participate, a society that makes students to be strong as citizens, that no one should tell them what to do.
POI.
Rejected. Honorable Speaker, for me to state a book is nothing to me, but I will tell you something, that whatever these people have said are all misinformation. One, students should engage themselves in politics, because if they wait until in their adulthood, it is going to bring a misinformation. Why? We all see in our society today, all pass, going to the voters' room, try, if you go, if you get, my question is, my brother, sit down, if you go to the registration voters room, for them to vote, it's always a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, the opponent always also said, sit down, please. You are distracting me. Head tracing. He said head tracing, politics bring head tracing. But to me, politics do not bring head tracing. It's the way people participate in politics. That is why they bring head tracing in politics. He also said that if students involve themselves in politics, they will put themselves in violence, conflicts. That is not the real case here. The way people participate in politics, that is the reason why students are, for example, now in our society, someone can be supporting UEG, others can be supporting NPP, while others can be supporting PDIS. The reason why the hatred is there is because the political identity is not there. That is why civic education is here. So that at least in every school, students are always learning what we call the civic education. Students learn, my brother, sit down, let me lecture you. Students learning that civic education, it doesn't mean that hatred is going to be, but the way they participate in politics. That's why today, violence is all over in politics. That's why today, any political gathering, any political rally that you go, conflicts are always there. Honorable Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, as my leader says, as fluent children, we is democracy. In our school today, if we are learning civic education, we are always participating in education. That education, that learning of that civic education. That is why today in most of the schools, you have what we call the civic education. Students are always learning from grade 10 to grade 12. So obviously, them participating in politics does not mean that they should be ignored. Obviously, they are going to participate. Because if they are not participating, then the government is going to be doomed. Because all past and all women, for example, my grandmother cannot take a token and say that you are going to vote. If you go to the ballot box and you don't recognize those people that are standing, how can you recognize? But if the students are developed on the ground, if the students are nurtured, then obviously we are going to have what we call educated citizens. But rather, if you want to allow the citizens, the students to grow older, obviously we are going to have a nation that is doomed. Honorable Speaker, my leader also said that politics do not bring confusion. Rather, it educates people, because if you go to schools, most of the students are participating in students' leadership, debate, quiz, etc. All those participation that they are going to do, they are not only learning them, but rather they are having that knowledge, gaining them every day, so that at least they can be politically aware. An example is tertiary institution. Most of the students that are not educated in politics, that do not put themselves in politics, if they come to tertiary institution, obviously they will not know how politics works. That is why today we are always doomed. But why we are not reinforced? We are not giving that information. We are not educated. So obviously, thank you all.
Thank you so much, Deputy Opposition Leader. So members of the audience, that brings us to the end of the first half of the debate, and we will go to the second half of the debate, and we will have the closing teams to come and give their submission. So if the house is set, can we have the government member,
please? Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, members of the high table, panel of judges, those with tables and even those without chairs, I greet you all. I stand here as the government member. On the motion, this House believes that involving school-going children in politics cause more harm than good in our society. And I believe the opposition bench did not understand the motion still now. We are talking about school-going children into politics. We all know what is politics. When you ask politicians, they will tell you politics is a dirty game. We don't care how we win. We just need the win. We already see recently, there are rumors in Fine TV, Fadu Network, everywhere that when you go to anywhere in this country, they are giving voters card to young children. They are giving voters card to children that you know that they are underage. But before proceeding to my procedures, I would like to give out the introductory structure of my debate. First and foremost, I will give an extension. After all, I will strengthen one point of the Prime Minister. Then I will review some of the baseless, sourceless, and tasteless points brought forward by the opposition. Then I will give my conclusions. Okay, my extension is students lose what? The ability to think independently. When you involve these young students into politics, they lose the ability to think independently. They rely on what people say, what people do. They don't think based on what they want to do. Before involving these kids in the politics, why not be involved in the text? Why not be involved in the things that you know that they will start developing things in their early age? That is why China is ahead of us. Kids are developing mobile phones. Kids are making cars. Kids are making things that you know that they are developing their nation. We want to involve our kids in the politics. Why are we doing that? You will not allow your child to be involved in the politics. You will not want to see your child running from Birikama to Bakote. You will not want to see it. I know. Don't deny the fact. Accept the fact. What you will not want, I know politics is a dirty game, but let us not involve these kids. They are innocent. Let's give them the right one. Let's give them the skill. Let them develop things. Let's move from this question and case. Let's come to the serious case. Why are we involving them in the politics? Mr. Speaker of the House, the Prime Minister mentioned here academic distraction. Thank you for one limitation because you will never have a lecture on that.
How can you justify that politics is not a game?
Thank you. Sit down. If I say politics is a dirty game, I have already mentioned it. They are giving voters cards to school-going children, young children. We have already seen. Fine TV have proven. Family Network have proven. So what do you want again? People are complaining about it. You go to third party, Kersamba, Nyamalahoba, all those places, you will find out that kids are giving voters cards to come and vote. Foreigners. They are kids. They shouldn't be involved. Mr. Speaker of the academic distraction, how is it going to be? How is academic distraction? Because when you involve them in the politics, one will be externally they will be going to politics. When you externally they will be going to campaign, they will have time on their hands. They will read, they will think, they will not develop their rights and everything. They will think that. We already good thing as people have discovered. Mr. Speaker of the House, the position they can get a political information we get from citizens. And what is the essence of school? What is the essence of school? We give them school, we give them the books, we give them what they need, let them sit down. They only become citizens. I am here today. I'm not a very political party, but I can tell what is the political quality. So what is the essence of telling me that we involve in politics, create the citizens? I am already a citizen. I know what is going on the ground. I know what people are doing and what people are saying. They go below. Some of you, they will give you a pound of price so that you can vote for them. I am aware. We are aware. We know what is underneath. They also, the deputy opposition leader mentioned here, any political gathering you go to, there is conflict. It is being said by him. No, why should we risk our children going there? Any political gathering you go there will be conflict. It is being said by him. Then why should we allow our kids to go there? Then why should we allow school-going children to go there? Why should we involve them in the politics? We know that any conflict, any political gathering, there is conflict. Mr. Speaker of the House, if I came to a class when a UDP sat, a hat, and I want to teach about politics, and I'm explaining the aims and objectives of UDP alone, do you think other students would feel fairly treated? No. I should be neutral as a teacher. Then if I wear the uniform of a political party, then my students should also wear the uniform of a political party. Then when they go to class, we will have different groups. I will teach them about UDP, then I teach them other people are LPP. Then why should we do that? Mr. Speaker of the House, what how it happened? Accept what the opinion of others. How those students lack the ability of what thinking independently. They accept what the opinion of others. If I am your fan and I'm telling you this and this and this, that is what we are going to have. And if you don't want to do it, I tell you, Ibrahim, if you don't do it, you take it or you leave my house. What are you going to do? You are going to take it. So you lack the ability of thinking independently, to make your decisions independently. Then let us not involve them. I am appealing to you. Mr. Speaker of the House, and the time is not on my side, but still I will tell you, involving these kids, it is harmful. Involving them in the politics is harmful. First is political identity can be part of them. They can have political identity. Wherever they are, people will describe them as this part, people will describe them as another part. They will go in, they will grow with that, and they can traumatize. It can lead to they can be traumatized. When their party is no more winning, when their party is the only party that is failing, people started calling them that name instead of their name. They can be traumatized. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker of the House, I have given an extension that is students lose the ability to think independently, strengthen the academic distraction, that is rebuke those baseless, sourceless, and fallacious points put forward by the opposition bent, that is political involvement can inform citizens, and any political gathering, you go to the conflict, and we all agree to that, then why should we risk the children? So I want to thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you, government member. If the House is set, can we please have the opposition member?
Mr. Speaker, the government bench want to wrap our children on a cutting until they are 18 and then throw them deep into democracy and blame them for drowning. Mr. Chairperson, members of the government bench, members of the opposition bench, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. Mr. Chairperson, in my capacity as an opposition member, please allow me to lay down the structure of my debate. First, I will debunk on the baseless, tasteless, and senseless points made by the Prime Minister and his members. Then I will strengthen the points of the opposition leader, the deputy opposition leader, give a point, summarize, and in summary, I will conclude. Mr. Chairperson, the Prime Minister made mention of the 2010 chaos, that is the students' protest. And then I will stand here and say that was violence but not politics. I think the Prime Minister needs political education in order to differentiate between crime and then politics. And then the Deputy Prime Minister also made mention of putting on jerseys. That is not the only way to participate in politics. Yes.
Okay, what create violence? What create violence?
What create violence? Yes, it is so embarrassing that the opposition government member doesn't even know what violence is, and then I will help you to, define violence for you, and then also tell you what create violence. So politics doesn't cause violence. Politics is a civilized game when our children are introduced into politics at a very early age. So violence is the cause of any abnormality in our societies, and then politics doesn't cause that if the citizens of our country are educated about politics. And then I'll also debunk on the points that were made by the government member, that is, politics is a dirty game. And then I asked him this question to justify why politics is a dirty game, and then he could not, say anything about that. He was just beating around the bush. So therefore, opposition government member, politics is not a dirty game in case we know about politics. And then he also made mention of schools can train them well. You cannot, yes, sit down please, sit down. You cannot teach a child how to drive a car just by reading a manual. And then at 18, you give them the key to go and drive. That is inappropriate, that is uncivilized, and that is dangerous. So therefore, the best way we can teach our children about politics is to allow them to participate, practice, and understand the game better so that they will not drown when they are thrown into democracy. And then you also made mention, can you please sit down? Yes, without time, I will strengthen the points that were made by the opposition leader. That is, politics create informed citizens. You know, when the citizens are allowed to take part in politics, they are of course informed. And how they are informed, if one may ask? They are informed in political debates. When political debates are organized, and people are allowed to make critical thinking, critical decisions, this will create an informed society. Please sit down, let me educate you, please. And then the opposition leader also made mention of popular participation. If these students are allowed to take part in politics and they build interest in politics at a very early age, it is of course obvious that these kids will be interested in politics, and the political apathy that is happening in our country will be at minimum. And then I will give one of my points, that is democracy is a skill, not age. The reason why I came up with this point is the government members believe that students can only participate in democracy when they are 18 or above, or if they are already, finished their schooling. So therefore, I will tell the government members that democracy is a skill, not by age. And kids can actively take part in democracy when they have this skill and they are being introduced to democracy at a very early age. And with this, I believe the government members are wondering why they sit here to support this motion and challenge my competent opposition leader and the deputy opposition leader, likewise the opposition whip. So therefore, I will thank you all for giving me this platform to make this clarification to the government bench that politics cause no harm to the students, and students should be allowed to take active part in politics. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Opposition Member. Now that brings us to the final speaker on the side of the government, that is the government whip.
Speaker of the House, honorable adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. My name is Ami Esisa, and in my capacity as the government whip, I am hereby giving out the skeleton of my debate. First of all, I will start by rebuting the baseless, senseless, and senseless point of this opposition pen. From there, straighten the point of my co-debaters. Then, in that, I summarize. In summary, then I conclude. Starting with their points. These people, the opposition bench says that involving school-going children in politics will make them to be informed citizens. Meaning that you are saying that Mohamed Jah is not an informed citizen. And Mohamed Jah is part of one of the most successful people in this country here. He votes in every election. First of all, the disappointment among your side is you don't know the motion. You don't understand the motion. The motion stipulated that engaging school-going children in politics will bring more harm than good in our society, which is clearly true. Civic education is there to educate our students. Government in our senior secondary school is there to educate our students. But those teachers, when teaching us, they tell us that anything you learn here, let us stay here. We are not advising you to engage in politics, because politics is not for you at this tender age. We need people, we need engineers, we need technicians, and we need doctors. We don't need politicians. Gambia, if you see the politicians are in this country, somewhere, you can know the right to vote without involving in politics. We have many successful people in our country. Sit down, let me educate you. You don't even know the motion. Okay, the opposition leader did not even know the structure of his debate, did not give out any point. He was there ranting about it will create awareness, it will create awareness. Awareness, bring us point, tell us this is, and this you have for the house. You are very unfair to the house. Next time, if you have to come to debate, settle down, know your point, know the motion, and come. You cannot just come here and be telling us baseless allegations, so we cannot accept it. From there, Mr. Speaker, I would like to strengthen the baseful, sensible, and accurate point of my co-debater. They said that it will create academic distraction, which I very agree to. Because the students, if you sit down, let me educate you, I don't have your time, you don't understand emotion. Academic education, it will disrupt their academic. These students at an early age, like from 18 to from grade 1 to grade 12, you involve in those people in politics. We are in time of exam or we are in time of there is serious learning in school. Those people going for strike, going for protest, going for political campaign and so on. Do you think that those people, their academic will not be disrupted? It will be disrupted. So, this house, we believe that this politics will ensure that it will bring harm in our society. Those students, their parents believe on them. They take them to school to go and learn. They don't tell them to go and learn from school. Most of these students, they have been involved in politics because some people force them, come, let's go for this campaign. You are asking your student to, a friend or a companion to go in for campaign. You are asking the individual to miss class. You are asking the individual to miss lectures. So, your points are baseless, testless, and senseless. It will bring negative impact in our country. Of course, it will bring negative impact in our country. Because I asked the student, I was told that politics will ensure development. How many politicians are in our country? How many develop our country? No. The majority of the people in this country, educated people are all politicians. What benefit did they bring our country? They did not bring us anything in our country. So we should advocate that. We should advocate for students who learn, know their rights at an early age. Okay? At a certain age, maybe you know that they already know what they want for their life. They can go into politics or go to be an engineer. I assure you all that if we allow the students to learn, we don't involve them in politics, teach them their rights. Okay? At the end, they will know what they want and they will not go into politics because they know that politics will not bring any development in our country. And we need our country to develop. Before the country is also of this environment, we need to be very clear. Politics, any political rally you went to their work politics, they will become it. So you are involving our students, telling them, go into those political rallies. If you go into those political rallies, let them see they will not be there. And again, they might be exposed to sexual harassment. They might be exposed to so many things. I can tell myself as an example. During Jammeh's time, the last meeting he held at summer, I was lost. And if they asked me, what have you told? Quiet life. That's the only thing I can say. I was at very tender age. I was involved in politics. I got involved in political things. So that is, it's not accepted. Okay? And the other one is it also brings division in our community, schools, and within friends. I am supporting someone, you are supporting the other one. At the end, we will have conflict as a student because we at the tender age, we don't even know these people. You are just running behind people that you don't even know what they have for you people. And you will have conflict between you as community members, as within our schools, and as friends. So, Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker, I am hereby saying that all the points they state here are baseless. That's of all, they don't understand the motion. They should go back, understand the motion, and come back. Mr. Speaker, I would then like to summarize. Okay, I start by reducing the baseless, testless, and senseless points of these people, which they stated that informed citizenship, political awareness, and so on. Okay, from there I straighten the point of my four debaters. They stipulated that academic it will involve the school going to in politics at an early age will bring more harm than good in our society, which I concord. The points are academic disruption, negative impact on national development, exposure to unsafe environment, division among students, and students lack the ability to make their own decision. I thank you all for your wonderful presentation, and I hope that you were fully elected.
Hello. I'm sure by now we are all energized, right? Usually debates are boring, but this one is not. Especially after the last speaker from the government. Now we have the final speaker for the debate, and that is the opposition whip.
Chairperson, honorable judges, worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I stand before you to oppose the motion that this House believes that involving school-going children in politics causes more harm than good in our society. First of all, I will start. My opponents seem not to understand when we talk about politics. So I would like to talk about, or I would like to enlighten them on this. So politics is not only about elections and political parties. It is also about understanding leadership, governance, citizens' rights, responsibilities. So school-going children are the future leaders of our nation, and introducing them to politics in a responsible and educational way prepares them to be informed, responsible, and active citizens. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you made mention of academic distractions. That is by engaging school-going children in politics distracts their academics. But I put it to you that that is not the case. Okay. Sit down when you're lecturing. So, BOI. Sit down when you're sit down, let me lecture you. Now, responsible political education does not replace academics. So activities such as debates, civic clubs, and student councils complement learning by developing leadership, communication, and critical thinking. So, you saying that it affects their academic is baseless, because it strengthens them in terms of academics. That is, by engaging them in debates, they will be able to be eloquent in terms of speaking. They will also sit down, let me lecture you. They will also be able to know their civic rights, their responsibilities as citizens. What are they expected to do? What are the don'ts and the do's that they are supposed to engage in? So, my opponents made mention that politics exposes children to conflict. Only way they can be manipulated. Sit down, the only way, while this can happen, the problem is not political legislation itself, but irresponsible political practices. So I believe when political rights. So they will not engage in what? Manipulation or what? Conflicts. So with proper guidance from parents, teachers and schools, children can learn about politics in a balanced, respectful and educational manner without being exploited. So you made mention, the Prime Minister made mention of negative impact on national development. As we all know that school-going children are the future leaders of tomorrow. So if they are not informed about their political rights, their responsibilities, what do you think in the future? What would they become in the future without having any political knowledge? They wouldn't have any political knowledge, and therefore they will not contribute to the national development of this country. So for them being educated through civic education, they will positively impact our national development, because they will be able to assist one another about their rights, and what are some of the sit down, let me. So after I'm listening, it is clear that the government has failed to prove that children's involvement in politics is more harmful than beneficial. Instead, our team has demonstrated that properly guided, involving school-going children in politics promotes responsible. Properly involving school-going children in politics promotes responsible citizenship, leadership, and democratic participation. So the government argued that politics exposes children to violence, manipulation, and division. While these risks exist, they are not caused by political education or participation itself. They result from irresponsible adults and poor political practices. The solution is not to exclude children from politics, but to create a safe and educational opportunities for them to learn about governance, democracy, and their rights. Okay. So in conclusion, it's time. Okay. Thank you, Chairperson, respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all.
Hello. So that brings us to the end of the debate, and yeah, this speak of the opposition brings us to the end of the debate. And I'm just going to say something. It is one thing to be able to speak or to know something, and it's a completely different thing to come to a podium and face people and say that within 7 minutes. So on that note, can you please join me and give a huge round of applause to each and every debate. And that said, we clock it for them, yeah? Thank you. So I will pass the mic to our colleagues, then we will accumulate the results and come back.
Thank you very much. We'll have a lunch break and prayer break. Then we all await the most interesting moment where the results will be announced. Until then, as the chairperson of TRRC will say, meeting is adjourned.